Our next storyteller is Miss Roxanna Trivitt. Roxanna is on staff in the campus ministry office. So, Roxanna.
Well, thank you. I think we can all agree that the last 4 years have been very trying and rough, and we can get cynical, and we can get hopeless at the reality that we're living. So thank you, Maria and Laura, for planning this, because I think these are all stories of hope and the miracles that happen in our lives that, as we know, God is always working. In 1996, I became the director of Shively Area Ministries. It's a community ministry here in Louisville that is an outreach to the poor, food pantry, financial assistance. I had spent 8 years in corporate America and no longer wanted to leave my young girls the impression that their mother just worked hard and climbed the corporate ladder and wasn't present. And I wanted them, as I had been raised in ministry, that it was a part of me, and I wanted them to grow knowing that serving and making a difference in their community was what was more important. So my second day on the job, they said, we don't have any food. And we don't have any bread. Where is the bread? We can't give food out without bread. Mostly retired volunteers, wonderful people, but I was like, oh my goodness, this is the first, I didn't think this was going to be the first problem I would face. Corporate America, we don't decide if there's bread or not. I didn't know what to do. So I went up to my office. We were in a 3-story house, and I just prayed. And I said, God, my favorite story in the Bible of all time was when Jesus fed the 5,000. He took 5 loaves and 2 fish and fed the people, the multitudes. I know you can do this. I know you're capable. Will you do it for me? And 15 minutes, the doorbell rang, and a man came to the back door and said, I have a truckload of bread. Would you take it? The quickest prayer of my whole life that's ever been answered. But then, fast forward a year later, I needed $30,000 to balance the budget. I'm up at night. How are we going to make payroll? How are we going to, help people with their utility bills? We don't have the money. And I said, God, I just need $30,000. I don't know how I'm going to get it. Give me $30,000, or give me the wisdom to know how to balance this budget, and give me, to do that. 2 weeks later, I get a call. It's a woman with a new business in the community that says, I have a check for $30,000 to give you. So I could talk on and on about stories like that happen every day. And I know it was because I knew that God said, or Jesus said, the poor will always be with you. It's who he's taking care of. I knew I was in his mission, but as the ministry grew and the need grew and I grew in the success of bringing funds in, then it became my ministry. And so we needed a new place. I met with someone, they gave me a substantial gift. And I thought, this is going to be easy. We're just going to raise $500,000 and no problem. Well, Katrina hits. So all the all the foundations, no grants, no nothing. It's all going, I can't sell a poor person if I tried. No one. And I felt alone. I was like, God, no one cares about the poor. And I am the only one fighting for them. I'm dramatic. So the third fundraiser, it's a luncheon, with just core people. No one shows. And I'm into the 5th year of doing this, and I am so tired. And I just went home and crawled in bed, and like God himself couldn't see me. I threw the sheets over my head, and I just cried, and I said, God, I quit. I am done. I have given you everything. I've done everything you've ever wanted me to do, and I quit. And I heard in an audible voice, okay, I don't need you to get this done. And I thought about that for a minute, and I heard again, I don't need you to get this done. And I'm like, oh yeah, but I'm your hands and feet. And then it occurred to me that yes, he doesn't. He's an all-powerful God. He cares about it. He's going to make it happen. I don't know how, but he could do it without me. He'll find somebody else. And that's when, I surrender to, okay, God, I want to continue doing this, but it's yours. It's your ministry. You'll make it happen when you want it to happen. And it did tenfold. And it took time, probably about 3 to 5 years. But at the end, we had a new building, we were on the bus line, it was everything. We'd expanded, we were debt-free, we had an endowment. God sent a multitude, an army of people to help me. It's just like the floodgates opened. And so, to God be the glory for all that was done, and that I was able to be a vessel of that, and that was it. And so, our moments with God are everybody's individual moments. My story is not your story, as we've shared tonight, and I love hearing this. But I just pray that you will have your God moments and that he will work a miracle, and you'll see a miracle in your life.